it's Becky Lightman with your market update this week. Well, as you know, inflation came in at 9.1% last week. That's a really, really bad number. And the Fed has been raising rates by 75 basis points, but here's a question. Is it working? There's some signs that consumers are beginning to pull back on spending, and they're pulling back on air travel. They're pulling back on existing home sales. Those numbers have come in quite a bit. New construction home numbers are coming in. There's some signs that what they're doing is working in terms of affecting the consumer mindset. But is it enough? I think the Fed's response, now the Fed always signals ahead of time what they're going to do. And the chatter over the weekend was, we're going to raise rates, but we're going to raise them by 75 basis points. I think they need to be at 100. I think the economy is generally strong enough that they can withstand a 100 basis point, and that's 1% in layman's terms, 1% interest rate hike. I think they need to do more. The economy is on fire, and the Fed has taken way too long to address it. So I think they need to be more aggressive than they are. Now, a lot of people say, well, that's going to plunge us into a recession. Well, guess what? The odds right now are already 50-50 that we're going into recession. Is that going to make it any more likely? I'm really not sure, but they can pull back if they overshoot it. That takes time, but I really think they're being way too tepid and they need to be more aggressive here. The other thing that is happening right now is the earnings season. The earnings are coming in lower. One of the things that I've talked about, actually they're the lowest they've been since 2020. They're still strong, however, but remember that companies, when their earnings are poor, they can pull back on hiring and they can do layoffs faster than anybody. They can decide they want to do layoffs in the next week, lay off 10,000 people if they want. So I've been talking about how quickly the unemployment number can raise, and I think we are going to see that. So what I am recommending is for those of you in corporate America, those of you who work in public companies, build your savings. You just don't know what's going to happen. And I'm not talking about 3 to 6 months. I'm talking about 6 to 12 months. The average recession lasts 10 months. You want to be prepared if you get laid off. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I am running some tips on my Instagram for what happens and how you might handle a layoff. So please tune into that. I will be back with another market update next week. Thanks as always for tuning in.